Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of the MCR Mac and Me. My name's TJ, and how would we not be able to discuss the Trump verdict last week? The liberals are taking, well, they find comedy in the fact that they can now call him a convicted felon. Hey, Mac, have you ever watched The Outlaw King on Netflix?
I've not.
For anyone who has Netflix, Outlaw King, about Robert the Bruce, outlaw. He was declared an outlaw by the King of England, Longshanks. Okay,
Right.
and
I'm familiar with the story. Yeah.
and what I'm doing is I'm making a connection here because it's just fine and dandy. You know, Trump can be the outlaw president as far as I'm concerned, and yeah, I'm going to vote for the outlaw president. Okay, there's so much to say on this, and so here we go. Any thoughts so far, Mac, before I get to my rant?
Now I'm going to let you start, and then I'll react.
Okay. Well, he was found guilty on 34 counts. Each count is punishable up to 4 years.
Right.
And I heard, I don't know if it was Trump or someone said 34 counts. I guess every time he wrote a check or something, that was a count.
Yeah, it's called they replicate the same. Let's say you do it once. Well, that's one charge. And then if you do the same thing, if they're out to get you, they won't call it one charge. They'll call it X number of. If you did it 1,000 times, it'd be 1,000 charges. It's improper, and the courts have ruled on this already.
Well, 34 counts, each count punishable up to 4 years, which by my math, that was a 134-year sentence, which is basically life for him. Okay.
Yeah. Well, anyone.
Immediately upon the release of the guilty verdict, within 10 hours, Trump was able to raise almost. He came just shy of $38 million. I think it was 37.8 they were reporting. Okay.
I saw a report, and it's a guy whose name I can't remember. He does a YouTube show. He's pretty good. He claimed $58.2 million in a certain amount of time.
Well, to my next point, you beat me to it. Over 50 million in 24 hours.
Okay, that was the
so
number.
I would not dispute that gentleman's figure. Okay. Right. Interesting tweet or post on X by Congressman Thomas Massie, Republican out of the Kentucky 4th District. Thomas Massie posts on X, Congress paid $17 million of taxpayer money for undisclosed hush payments to cover up sexual harassment claims. Meanwhile, candidate Trump allegedly used his money for a $130,000 hush payment, and he's convicted of 34 felonies for not disclosing.
Well, we all know that Bill Clinton paid, I think it was Paula Jones, $800,000 to shut up and go away.
Bravo, Thomas Massie. And I've heard a little bit about him in the past. He appears to be a MAGA supporter, okay?
Right.
8 Republican senators did something noteworthy. I don't know if you heard about this, Mac. 8 senators. And I'm going to list them by name because these guys deserve all sorts of applause, I believe. 8 senators are Senator Michael S. Lee out of Utah, Senator Tommy Tuberville, Alabama, Senator Marsha Blackburn, Tennessee, Senator Roger Marshall, Kansas, Senator J.D. Vance, Ohio, Senator Eric Schmidt, Missouri, Senator Rick Scott, Florida, Senator Marco Rubio, Florida. They all put out, now I thought I had it saved on my Android. Oh my gosh, what have I done?
Perhaps you could just give us the gist of it.
They signed a letter. Saying that moving forward, they are not going to cooperate with the Democrats on anything as long as it doesn't involve national security. So anything outside of the realm of national security, don't come to us.
Right.
And all we're going to do is slow you down at anything. You know?
Well, I think it's in their own personal best interest to do this. And I think any viewer who's watching better understand this too. If they can do this to Donald Trump, a former president of the United States, they can sure as hell do it to you. Don't come in for your medical required treatment that they want to give you, and maybe you go to jail. Maybe they start taking a look at you. It goes to the old Soviet Union guy who said, "Show me a man, and I'll find the crime."
Yeah.
But,
well,
you jaywalked back in 1971, and we're going to manufacture that into a felony. Oh, and we're going to rewrite the laws of the statute of limitations so we can do it. I suspect, and other people who are far more knowledgeable, such as Professor Dershowitz, agree. This is getting flipped on appeal. But they're still going to want to say convicted felon, even though he won't be at that point.
Because thanks to your rant, I may have been able to find. I got it here. United States Senate, Washington, D.C., 20510, dated May 31st, 2024. The White House has made a mockery of the rule of law and fundamentally altered our parties in un-American ways. As a Senate Republican conference, we are unwilling to aid and abet this while White House is in the project to tear this country apart. This is difficult to read because of the small lettering, but yeah, if you go to the rightscoop.com, rightscoop.com has an article. 8 Republican senators vow to no longer cooperate with Dems on anything after Trump verdict. So
I'll add that in the description box if I can find it.
So bravo to the 8 Republicans.
Well, excuse my skepticism or my pessimistic attitude regarding Republicans, but it's a bit of posturing because they don't need these people to do anything in the Senate.
One person who I was a little surprised at her support of Donald Trump, Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, I found that as well. Well, Megyn Kelly is a lawyer, by trade.
Yeah.
And she's been tearing it up. She knows how dangerous this is for not just Donald Trump and as they like to say, our democracy, which we are not. They ought to be saying for our republic, but it's another story. It's dangerous. It's dangerous to all of us.
Yeah, and I'd like to reference Sean Davis here. Let me get my notes. Sean Davis, he's a columnist and CEO for the website, website, The Federalist. Okay, and so Sean Davis has posted on X. He's got two. He has multiple posts, but I'm just going to read the 2 of them. If you're a Republican running for office, you can just go ahead and throw away all your elegant little policy proposals for this or that. Corporate exclusion or tax subsidy. Give me a list of which Democrat officials you are going to put in prison or get lost.
Well, here's what going back to Megyn Kelly for a second. Of course, I was upset when I heard this verdict because I had some minor hope that my faith in mankind might be just restored by a not guilty verdict, but I didn't expect that to happen. But Megyn Kelly went somewhere where I felt alone in saying is that, and what she said is, hey, well, maybe we need to take a good look at their favorites, like Michelle Obama, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Michelle Obama needs to go to prison for the rest of her life because of some funky business that they've done. And damn well they've done it.
If for anyone who listens to podcasts, because I listened to her 30-minute rant, okay, she did a special 30-minute podcast rant, and yeah, she mentioned President Biden, Hillary Clinton, and Obama as far as maybe they need to go to prison. Oh yeah,
well, I think that maybe a jury could be formed in the reddest of reddest counties in a state, whatever state, probably Florida would be your best bet, that can indict Nancy Pelosi for insider trading. And you know what? They always said you can indict a ham sandwich. So she's indictable. Put her on trial, convict her just the same way. Just do what they did with Trump. Put her in prison.
Well, you just kind of did a little bit of a swerve into the next Sean Davis post, where he posts, if you are a state AG prosecutor with original criminal jurisdiction, you better be drafting up charges, indictments, and warrants for every Democrat official involved in this insane, treasonous attack on our entire constitutional republic.
I think it would be the perfect answer to this problem. The problem is we've got these weak people. I think that they're cowards, terrible cowards, and they hide behind, I'm going to take the high road. That's not right. We're not going to do it. Bullshit. Because they're just afraid that, you know what? When the left comes for them, they're going to find them on the floor in a corner, sucking their thumb in a fetal position. Because they like to posture that they stand for something. They don't stand for anything. They make me sick. And you know what? When stuff happens, I'll be looking for them too.
Well, you and I think so much alike. You again swerved into one of my points where I wanted to thank the rhinos and the high road Republicans for making this situation right now more than possible.
Well, it's obvious the media is lying like hell. Oh, Trump, there's no way Trump can win. Yeah, no way he can win, so much so that you need to put him in prison. And I saw a meme, and I don't usually, some of them, they're funny, and sometimes they actually have a good point. One of them said, if you really believe that Joe Biden got 81 million votes, why would you be afraid of anybody? Because 81 million votes is winning every election. So why worry about anybody?
I keep saying to myself, November can't get here quick enough, but if not enough people care about the tomfoolery, the electoral anomalies, that I'm actually worried sick that they're going to duplicate the electoral anomalies of 2020.
Yeah, well, they better pay a price if they do it.
When you think about it, they almost have to.
Here's the problem with lawfare and the law that doesn't act. Eventually, you have to say, okay, well, I am going to take the law into my own hands, and I'm going to rectify this situation.
A lot of times I reference the Declaration of Independence where they enumerate the reasons for the Declaration of Independence. And one of the reasons stated was how they had submitted to the Parliament the injustices, and they too have given them a deaf ear.
Right. That's where we're right there again.
Yep, we're right there again, along with a few of the other reasons so stated that I like to, in my rants, I like to reference. But anyways, we could go on and on and on about
forever. Yeah.
I suppose might as well just call this one a wrap because otherwise I'll work myself up into a frenzy.
I can edit out the foam around your mouth.
Yep. Okay. Enough said on this messed up situation. Catch you all in the next segment. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.